Sir, you can't go that way, sir!
Since we've been full-time, we can't believe how much work there is for us.
When it comes to Winnipeg's worst criminals, members of the tactical support team are always ready to defend their city.
You know, when the sun starts going down and the alcohol starts taking effect, that's usually fairly busy. 6 shots heard, 2 people running north from Mackenzie.
It's a job that takes brains.
Do we know which way they ran from here, guys?
Brawn.
How much have you had to drink?
And most of all, bravery.
You're only as good as your weakest link, and everybody on our team is all geared towards being the best that we can.
When there's a volatile situation, these are the men that are called in to solve the problem. I'm Mira Bahadu Singh, and in this SHOT TV special report, we're going behind the scenes with the Winnipeg Police Tactical Support Team.
Winnipeg. It's where the Red and Assiniboine rivers meet, almost the geographic center of North America. It's a city known for its climate, its culture, and its crime.
A heavy police presence in the Weston area today. A 27-year-old was attacked outside a Blake Street housing complex yesterday afternoon.
Tonight, Winnipeg police continue their search for the missing woman.
The men and women of the Winnipeg Police Service protect the community from criminals. It's a calling that takes compassion, courage, and commitment.
Well, you gotta get them off the street, but they'll be back on the street within the month or the week, or you know what I mean? Yeah, you get jaded in a sense, but if you let that bother you, you're not gonna come out here and do the job.
Chosen from the ranks of the Winnipeg Police Service, the tactical support team is called out to the most dangerous situations.
TAC 65 to TAC 60, Trev. Our mandate specifically, we'd like to try and assist and be a source for our general patrol members out there. So if they're going to a call that's typically a man with a gun that's been seen going into a place, or if there's a weapon involved, we're gonna go down there and try and give them assistance the best we can. Hey, can you just get your stuff and get where you gotta go here? We got a situation, can you move? Quickly? Yeah, quickly, thank you. We could also be used for hot zones. If there's something going on where they're having some problems in the north end, downtown, or certain areas in the city, and they need extra coverage, we'll be there to apply that and then go down and help them out by showing and so-called waving the flag, so that way they see the presence of the police around.
These kind of urban commandos have been protecting Winnipeg since 1974. Back then they were called the Emergency Response Unit, and the team was only part-time.
We were made up of 18 members. And what had happened was if an incident happened on the street, they would call us out, or the guys that were working would go down to the scene. And it typically took an hour to an hour and a half to muster everybody together to go down and to try and deal with the situation. Obviously, we need to get together and be able to respond a little quicker than that. So they've gone full time, and now we have a team of 36 members plus 1 coordinator. We run with 9 guys on each team, so we have 4 teams of 9, and we work pretty well 19 and a half hours throughout the day. And the other 4.5 hours that if something happens within that time period, they would call us out.
Everything changed in 2006 after 3 city cops were wounded during a drug raid here on Jubilee Avenue. The suspect barricaded himself inside of the bathroom with a shotgun. I remember being here that night reporting, and that incident rocked the police service. But it led to a few changes too, because after that, the city decided to take the part-time emergency response unit and change it into the full-time tactical support team to prevent incidences like that from ever happening again.
Who has to do, you still have to do stuff from last night?
This is how most of their shifts begin. The sergeant briefs his team on what's going to happen that day.
And then maybe what we could do is do a slow search with the dog too. I told him what dog he's supposed to be coming out. And I think he's going to bring Corey with us.
Dean Lambert is a new member of the tactical support team, otherwise known as the T.S.T.
It's been a position I've always been interested in. I've worked some plainclothes and general patrol, but this is a whole different type of policing. Essentially, the teamwork aspect is certainly a big part of it. Most of the situations we go as an entire unit, which is consists of 9 officers. So we all do our part, and it's an enjoyable part to kind of work as a team.
And like most teams, the T.S.T. has a locker room filled with uniforms, posters, and family pictures.
Can you grab a 40 mil and a a shotgun round. We'll shoot those off.
Once the guys are geared up, they grab their equipment, which is kept here on this bus called Big Blue.
Well, here's a couple of rounds here. No, can you throw one in here?
Then it's time to hit the streets, and so far, it looks like a busy night.
This is all the calls that are waiting for service in District 1. So,
Echo 161.
every page we got 5, 10,
Can you please sign off
15,
Echo 104?
20, 25. So you got about 30 calls waiting for service right now in Division 11 alone.
But the T.S.T. only responds to certain calls.
You're going to find that we're going to pick and choose the ones that we're going to go to, and then we're going to, by priority, I mean, depending on what it is. So, you know, you might think that why aren't we going to that? But there's a lot of stuff that we're going to listen to and say, okay, we're not going to go to that for the simple reason they're going to have a uniformed member going down there, and if they need us, they'll call us down.
Members of the tactical support team carry a lot of gear.
Typical setup like everybody else on the street. We got a vest. It's geared. We're wearing blacks. A little bit easier to hide in the nighttime and stuff like that into the shadows. We all carry a taser. Typical radio allows us to listen to the different channels. There's 3 different districts going, or 3 different channels going for 6 different districts. So there's a lot of chatter going on. We carry pepper spray, baton. We got, of course, the handcuffs, our rounds, extra rounds that we have when we're out there. We all carry the extra ammo, so 45 rounds apiece. This is more of our utility vest that we use on every day. If we go to a scene where we need a little bit more protection and stuff like that, we wear a bigger beast, which we call the TAC vest itself. Tactical helmet, ballistic capabilities, so everybody would have their helmet. If we were typically doing a warrant or a call where there's weapons involved, use the helmet itself. Our bigger vests, we have a push to talk, so we can kind of go a little quieter. Nobody hears what's going on, stick it into our ear. A little push to talk and it'll go over the airwaves. Carry a gas mask, have the radio itself, and of course our extra rounds. But this typically weighs 70 pounds on top of what our vest was, our utility vest is.
But it's their guns that really sets them apart from other officers.
We got a Glock 22. It's a 40 caliber pistol, and it shoots a capacity of 15 rounds in a mag, so we have 45 rounds on us. We also have our primary weapon that we use if we're going to a call, the C8. Every individual on our team is actually issued with them. It's fairly quick. It shoots 3,100 feet per second and up to 400 meters. So, I mean, you think of 400 meters, there's 4 football fields.
Members of the T.S.T. are handpicked, and their fitness levels and shooting skills are constantly tested to make sure they stay qualified for the team.
Now, is it tough to become a member of the T.S.T.?
I think it's a very valued position, and there's a lot of people that are trying out for the service as a SWAT on the T.S.T. When we went to 36 guys from 18, we had a big, huge increment, so we had a lot of people applying. Right now, as people leave, come springtime and transfers, you know, it's going to be tougher and tougher for members to get onto the T.S.T. because it's not so wide open. But, you know, as long as you're in shape and you're able to do the job and you're interested in doing police work and do a lot of work, then by all means.
Officers come to this target range to practice their shooting.
Typically, every team that we have, the 4 teams, we have a firearms instructor that's on there that puts their shift through the firearms program. Jarrett, who's running the line right now, just went away about a month and a half ago and just got his certificate as an instructor. So he's gradually running the guys through the stuff. What happens if we're up there with the primary weapon and it goes dead, something happens, and we do this specifically, we only put so many rounds in there. So now they have to transition to their pistol because you can't sit there and try and get your big weapon going, it's going to take you forever. The idea is to transition to your pistol to be up there right away for the threat that's in front of you.
Police say 90% of shootings usually happen when the target is 10 yards and closer. But even close up, it takes a careful eye and a steady hand. Under close guidance, they give me a quick lesson on shooting.
Do you got earplugs in still?
I do.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Okay, you're hired. You got it right in the middle.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tyler, she shoots better than you. All right, go ahead.
Even in a training environment, it's harder than it looks.
I mean, you never really know what you're going into. In our situation, most of the stuff we're going to is weapons calls or the higher risk calls. Just being mentally prepared for that every day. That's why we do a lot of training. Everything becomes second nature, due to continuous training, and everybody knows what the other guy's going to do when we go into a place, and that's probably the hardest, is just having that mental mindset that, to be prepared for anything.
These officers only have seconds to make a decision. They're trained to stop a threat, and it doesn't always have to mean shoot to kill. This weapon is called a less than lethal.
It's a 12-gauge shotgun. It'll fire the same rounds as any shotgun. Our armor had these made with fluorescent orange on them, so they can be identified as a less lethal round. They fire a 12-gauge stock round. The idea behind these is it gives us one more tool, one more option before having to go to a lethal force situation. They're designed to not penetrate the skin. It's rather like kind of getting hit by a fastball, something like that. And we aim for the major muscle groups, the legs, buttocks.
Next, they head to an abandoned building to try a different kind of training exercise. It provides a real-life setting where an officer can role-play as a suspect.
The dog go in and try and find the bad guy, and what we'll do is we'll have him deal with him by finding him and actually biting him at the time, and us dealing with him afterwards, and how we actually get the bad guy in custody. We also have a couple of techniques that we'll show you later on when we have dynamic entries, where we use certain tools, one of which is our flashbang, a distraction technique that basically gives us a few seconds to kind of stun the person inside.
In most cases, the tactical support team works closely with the canine unit.
When you're doing a high-risk entry with a TAC team, a dog is certainly an excellent value for a TAC team, because they're able to essentially pinpoint where a person is without exposing our guys to the situation. So in this, where you have an open room like this, guy in this closet here, you're ripe for an ambush. A guy can easily attack one of our guys without them ever knowing he's there. Send a dog in on a long line. If that dog knows what he's doing, knows what he's looking for, they're an unbelievable asset to keep our guys safe.
Now, how does the dog know where the person is?
Well, the dog's nose is incredibly good, right? My dog's 7 years old. He's very experienced. He's an experienced street dog, so he knows the game. He knows what he's looking for. He's going into these houses that we're searching. He knows what he's looking to find. He's looking to find a bad guy hiding. So his success on the street sort of translates to the work we do in tactical team, because it's the same thing. We're tracking bad guys every night.
Contact, contact, contact. Watch it. Attaboy. Down the road, down the road. Attaboy, buddy. Down the road.
Scott Taylor and his dog Judge have a special bond.
I raised him as a pup from 7 weeks old. We have a breeding program in our city. We're actually the only municipal department in Canada that breeds their own dogs. So I was lucky that I raised my dog, and it turned out I got a position with the canine unit, and he worked out. So the planets kind of all aligned, because it's not always the case. You have a litter of pups, and some make it and some don't. And it's just lucky that he did. So.
And what's your relationship like?
Very good, very strong. I mean, he's part of our family. I take him home every night. So he's, I take him to the lake on our days off, and he's part of the family, no doubt about it. He looks after me, so we have a pretty good relationship. The thing about my dog is he has to be able to work with the team. That's what's most important. He has to be steady with all the guys in the team. There's a lot of back and forth. Guys are moving around a lot. There's a lot of yelling. Dog has to be able to understand that these guys are not a threat to him. They're not a threat to me. So by working with him, with the guys all the time, he understands these guys are part of me. They're no threat. So they can move back and forth. When they call us up to do a room, we put them in a down at the front of the line, send them on a search command. The guys are covering him and myself. The thing about me is I have to watch the dog. That's how I know what's going on. I have to be able to see him. But because of that, I'm exposed somewhat. But these guys are certainly looking after me. So we all kind of work as a team.
The tactical support team practices entry techniques too. getting into a building quickly and safely is crucial. Sometimes they'll use the element of surprise to help.
The best part is the satisfaction of going to a call and dealing with it in a professional manner and essentially making sure that the public is safe and our officers are safe.
And being prepared for anything is what keeps these officers passionate about their job.
The training, the involvement of the tactics, the planning, the executing of search warrants, just, you know what, it takes a lot of specialty, how should I put it, training in regards to the weapons, the tactics, and being in shape to be able to do that stuff, and then just the team atmosphere. You're only as good as your weakest link, and everybody on our team is all geared towards being the best that we can, and you know, that's what I like about it.
I hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the Winnipeg Police Tactical Support Team. This is part one of a two-part series. Tomorrow on Shaw TV, we're going to actually spend a full 12-hour shift with the team. And in that time, they search for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant, as well as arrive on scene just minutes after someone is shot and killed in the North End. That's tomorrow. For Shaw TV, I'm Mira Bahati Singh.
You never really know what you're going into.
Sir, you can't go that way, sir!
Since we've been full-time, we can't believe how much work there is for us.
When it comes to Winnipeg's worst criminals, members of the tactical support team are always ready to defend their city.
You know, when the sun starts going down and the alcohol starts taking effect, that's usually fairly busy. 6 shots heard, 2 people running north from Mackenzie.
It's a job that takes brains.
Do we know which way they ran from here, guys?
Brawn.
How much have you had to drink?
And most of all, bravery.
You're only as good as your weakest link, and everybody on our team is all geared towards being the best that we can.
When it comes to the most volatile situations, these are the men that are called in to solve the problem. I'm Mira Bahati Singh, and in this Shaw TV special report, we're going behind the scenes with the Winnipeg Police Tactical Support Team. This week we follow them in a 12-hour shift, and what we see will amaze you. They search for a man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant, and we arrive on scene just seconds after someone is shot and killed in the North End. Here's a look at some of Winnipeg's finest.
You know, when the sun starts going down and the alcohol starts taking effect, that's usually fairly busy. You know, we always have double the manpower on from 9:30 to 2:30, and sometimes later than 2:30. But you know, evening times, yeah, with lack of a better term, the wood ticks come out, and you know, the stuff happens. Day shift, there's certain things that, you know, the robberies for the banks and the businesses and stuff. You'll see more of that, whereas the nighttime you'll see more of the assaults, the stabbings, and the stuff that's going on there, and the break-ins. Let's face it, a good day for the citizens is a bad day for us because it's quiet for us, right? But that's what policing is about. You want it to be good for the citizens. In saying that, we all join the job to get the bad guys, and so a good day for us isn't always a great day for the city or you know, the citizen.
Since we've been full-time, we can't believe how much work there is for us just with weapon-related stuff.
When you work general patrol, you essentially you work in one area, whether it's downtown or North End or the South End. As a tactical team, we're citywide, so we're essentially listening to 3 radios and essentially going all over the city and dealing with gun calls or any kind of high-risk situations. So definitely the amount of work was quite surprising.
Some of our guns are equipped with full automatic, so what happens is you'll see as we go up and he'll put it on full automatic, it'll shoot a round off of 30 rounds. you're going to obviously see the reasons why they're outlawed in Canada. Fully automatic weapon in the hands of a bad guy, you're going to see the potential of what could actually happen, and it could be very disastrous. So you can see the capabilities of the gun here and why we do that.
A lot of people talk about the brotherhood when you're on the force. Is it true or is it?
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's true. For me, I think it rings true. I mean, especially on a team like this, we're with such a small amount of guys doing the job, specialty job like this. Everyone has to be on the same page. And
you gotta roll, guys. You just gotta roll down into the floor.
Okay.
So you've got to place around it right now.
Echo Kill 02, can I get that call, please?
So what's happening?
So they got a call down on this address that we're heading to. St. Anne's, there's a suite there that they're in. Male was on a Canada-wide warrant in the suite. Gives the name of the person. Believes he lives there with his female, also to be wanted on a Canada-wide warrant. So they go down there. It says here, info received that the male is possibly armed. So the guy that's in the suite with this girl, possibly armed, and they're not answering the door at this point. So the units that are down there right now are the GP units. They've surrounded the place. They've got it locked down. They've got the female. Sounds like she came out, but they don't know if the guy's still in there. And he's the one that's supposed to have the weapon. And we're just going to stage on the north side of the parking lot. I'm going to meet with the 60 unit that's looking after things there. Our guys will try and get some spots probably taken up on it if it's a hallway. They'll try and block it down there. And then just a matter of trying to establish contact with the guy and talk him out. And we'll just play it by ear by then. It's coming up here, Trev. There it is there. It's going to be on the right side. But it's still north.
We're all staged right here. We're in their blind spot.
Yeah, that's affirmative, but we're on the east side. But we'll have somebody open up the door on the west door that we went in there.
I put a map here specifically.
Okay, copy. We've got two guys waiting to get in there, so if you can come down and let them in, that'd be awesome. Sir, you can't go that way, sir!
Okay, copy that.
You can't go there. So, do we have numbers for the suite?
No.
The female here just came out?
We just got them in custody.
Okay.
So they're cooperating, so they'll have the numbers.
He's up in a suite that we think and supposed to be associated to a gang that we know of, and he possibly might be armed, and he's got a Canada-wide warrant on him. So we're just trying to make contact right now. We got the place surrounded. We've got our guys upstairs on the second floor. They got it there. We've got the outside surrounded as well. We've got our dog both upstairs, and we've got a dog down here as well. So I mean, we've got it contained. We're going to try and keep the people away the best we can, and then on top of that, just try and make a phone call and have them come out safely. We'll see what happens. You know?
What are some of the challenges when you're going into a big place like this?
Just the initial 5-10 minutes, just making sure that everybody's safe, and we got a lot of, as you can see, people walking around. Girl here coming to her car, another guy walking there, trying to locate where it is. That's the biggest thing, is locating where the place is. We have to try and lock it down. Once we lock it down, then we try and isolate it. Isolate it meaning keeping all the people away. So that's the biggest challenge right now. Now that it's all done, everything, the big 5 minutes of, okay, what's going on? Let's figure out it's all done. Now we're at the point where I'm confident our guys have it locked down. It's secured. We have all the escape routes cut off. And now it's just a matter of uniformed members keeping everybody else away, keeping it isolated, so we can do our job of trying to contact them. So I'm going to see if he's made contact, and we'll go from there. Tag 65260.
Go ahead.
Trev, 2 attempts to contact the male, no answer on the phone at this point. We do have a GP member coming up that stairwell, so you can put him where you need him. And at this point, I guess, if you can try and let him know that it's the police phoning, that he should pick up that phone. Let me know if you need a loud hailer.
Go. Jeff, where do you want us to block traffic?
Well, there's 3 or 4 keys on there. We can confirm which key it is. I think it'll be a little easier than ramming it. She's been pretty cooperative, and I'd hate to ram that door and piss her off, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So what happens now, guys, we're just going to try and establish what key it is. We might just breach the door and hold there and wait for him to make contact with us. We're not going to go in. We have our dog with us, like we talked about. But I just got to talk to our duty officer and let them know what's going on and keep them in the loop. So that's where we're at. Got all the time in the world, so there's no rush here. So they indicate that he is there. He is with the rock machine, and we've tried to make contact on the phone. He doesn't want to answer. What we're kind of have in mind, we've got the keys from her. It's her suite. We've got permission from her, everything. He doesn't live there. It's her suite and everything like that. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Al. Okay, bye-bye. So I just confirmed with my duty inspector upstairs, like keeping her in the loop in regards to what's going on. So that way, you know, they're the ones that control and have all the final decisions on what happens. So, I mean, she's left it in my hands at this point to be able to breach and hold and see what happens from there. So at this point, we're going to, we're just going to try and get contact. They're going to breach the door. They've got keys. If the keys don't work, they're going to ram it. And then once it's open, they're going to try and make contact verbally with him. We also have a dog there. If there's no contact made, they'll be given commands that, you know, dogs could be sent in and he could be bit. So they're going to try and talk him out at that point. We'll cross that bridge once that happens.
Yes, we get permission to make entry utilizing canine, full search.
Yeah, that's affirmative. You've got control.
60 copy.
So, indication is that he does carry, but there's nothing concrete that says he has a gun in his hand now. I'm just going to go and confirm some of the stuff with the girls there, but so, you know, he's hiding, the door's been breached, the dog's going to go in, the dog's going to search each room, and as he searches those rooms, we'll take those rooms and then go to the next one. So the dog is...
60 to 65, just deploying the dog now.
See, so... Okay, copy. Yeah, go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, Jamie, just doing a search back here. No occupants located.
Okay, copy that. No occupant located there. So it sounds like they searched it and there's actually nobody in there. So for whatever reason, I guess the information that came in that he was there, it may be a little late. For whatever reason, he might have heard us coming in there, maybe got out before they got there. The girls indicated he's been there, so maybe he snuck out when they moved down the side. So we don't know. So at this point, everybody here should have pictures up and know that he might be out and about. So, and TAC 65 to the other units that are on scene here, just be aware. I mean, if he's not in a suite, he might be out and about. So if you have a picture up, just have a keen eye. Hands right behind your back. Behind your back, yeah. Car stolen, yeah. Driving around in a stolen car with everybody. You can't be doing that stuff. Well, basically the guys ran the plate. They were doing like we talked about before, running plates because it's quiet. They're trying to do a traffic stuff and traffic enforcement. It comes up that it's stolen. So they pulled it over. Male's in custody that was driving, and the two other passengers are also in custody. So it was good. No chase or nothing, and just good police work on their part. Yeah. You know, now you see what happened there. Now they got 3 hours, 4 hours ahead of them in paperwork in the station. It is. It's absolutely. It's tough that way. So, but. Hey, what's your name?
Cheryl.
Come on back here, Cheryl. Cheryl.
What?
What are you doing?
Nothing. What?
You're not wanted, are you?
No.
Okay. How's life been tonight?
Good.
Yeah.
All right, I guess. Go on.
Should I run you?
Go ahead.
Have you got warrants or anything like that?
Nothing. No restrictions.
No, nothing.
On the right side of the
All right. What's your last name? Okay. Have a good night. Be safe. Okay. See, technically, the girls can tell you to go take a hike and walk away, but then, you know, obviously, they got to be a little cooperative with us because, I mean, their whole night depends upon being able to get clients, right? And they know if they become, how would you say, in good terms, uncooperative, then ultimately, you know what, you can create a problem for them by just hanging out, scaring off their clients. So normally you just check them in that, and Trevor does a lot of stuff with the girls in regards to just talking to them and finding out information. Eventually they come around, and you know what, they'll tell you, yeah, some guy with a gun, or they'll give you information, and it happens that way. Trev is big into that stuff.
How's it going tonight? Good. How old are you? 20?
I'll be honest with you. You know how police work gets done? It's all in how you treat people. And you know what? The old, I'm a police officer, you're going to tell me what you want. It doesn't work. It does not work. You have to build a relationship with somebody for them to feel trust in you in order to get some information from them. How's it going?
Tired.
You're tired?
No.
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
19.
19. Yeah, you've been in trouble with us for anything?
No.
No? How's the night going?
Alright.
Yeah?
Just like, whatever.
You know, just like whatever, come on.
Really boring.
It's been a boring night? No one's taking advantage of you? No? You okay being out here by you?
Okay.
Are ya? Alright. Be Be safe.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. And you know, when I see you drinking the beer, like, don't make it so obvious. It's like,
Who's drinking a beer?
her, him, whoever, whatever. Her? Okay, I'm not sure. I just... Hey, can you go pick up your can of beer?
Hey.
Tell her to go pick up her can of beer because it's $300 fine.
Girl, you're gonna get charged.
Just put it in the garbage at least, okay? Thank you.
Or put in your...
All right.
You're gonna go to jail.
Just put it in the garbage. That'd be all right.
There is no garbage.
Well, just take it with you then and throw it somewhere.
Put in your purse. Put it in mine.
Is that gone? What'd you do with it?
Put it in my bag.
Oh, okay.
Purse.
All right.
10 cents.
It's 10 cents.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good night.
Hi. Why are you taking pictures of me?
How far are you to attend the area of 1 Avenue?
They're all guys.
10 shots in the past 10 minutes. Echo 301 up experiencing you as well.
6 shots heard, coming from the Mackenzie direction. No other sounds heard. 2 people running north from Mackenzie. On Mackenzie, near the restaurant at the corner.
You get a summons shot call, so Mackenzie, I will be putting you on the gunshot wound call.
Good. So we got a car that's already on scene. Damn, we were just there. And TAC 65, if we have Dogman coming down, maybe we should consider setting up a perimeter pretty quickly. Do we know which way they ran from here, guys?
He's pale, he's still breathing.
Do we know which way he ran?
They saw a guy, baby, that's it. They have no direction.
Know which way they ran?
Nothing.
Okay.
They were all sitting here watching a movie, he gets hit.
Okay.
302, we're off with the victim.
Guys?
We're going to need at least 7 cars at the scene. We got 7 witnesses.
We need to rope this off because we got casings.
Because it was outside.
And TAC 65 to dispatch. Watch. Watch, guys, we got shell casings on the sidewalk there. Let's get some tape around the place. One of you guys want to run with the dog? He's inside. So they're a different job. They you know yourself, they can run. They're 6 streets down. Let's just sit right at this corner here, Skinny, and have a look. But you know what? No doubt that if you want to turn so we can see both ways, just face to the north here. Yeah, we look both right and left. So you can see how so much chaos is going on, right? Go down there and you know, you're trying to get a description, but everybody there doesn't see anything to say. They'll get some guys taking some information from them, but you want to try and get that out to everybody. And right now there's a guy laying there, he's been shot, and you know, he's pale as a ghost. So almost everybody comes down. We know there's a gun involved, there's shell casings out there. So hopefully our dog man picks something up and can kind of track him somewhere. This is an everyday occurrence in this area. This isn't something that's new. Like, I mean, you get this all the time, and it'll turn out to be a 15-year-old or 12-year-old kid. And if he's out on foot, the dog is going to find him. But you know what happens is, a lot of times if they've got a vehicle, they'll track him to a spot, then they'll lose it. So we'll see what happens here. We'll just keep our ears peeled. And now it becomes a waiting game. It's kind of like fishing, right? Now you got to wait and see what happens with the dog. So he's coming. That's Kilo 02. That's our dog, guys. Same. Okay. So our guys just told us that he's come to a point where, and when Scotty tells you that with Judge, you know for a fact that they probably got into a vehicle. He can't find any more track, so there's probably a car involved. See, now they're gonna have to interview the witnesses. Hopefully somebody saw something, and I mean, we're chasing our tail right now because the guys are probably in a car and gone. And so in the past, we've gone through these houses, and these young kids are all been known to carry the guns and do some robberies and do some shootings. So we'll just take a drive-by and see if there's anybody stirring around. So really at this time it's kind of like a needle in a haystack. We're kind of looking around, and hopefully the guy's in a stolen vehicle driving like an idiot gets picked up somewhere. But the scary thing is I mean, obviously someone's running around with a pistol, and the caliber is high enough. Just to sit there and shoot through a window in a group of people is just, how does that make sense? It doesn't, but it happens every day down here. Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
I don't know what street I'm on.
You don't know what street you're on?
No.
What do you got? You got anything on you?
No.
No? Okay.
None.
Honestly, he's juiced. He can barely see where he's going, and he's got nothing on him to indicate that, you know, he's nervous or he's just out of it. So my inclination is he's drunk and he's trying to get home. What's this here, Skinny? Someone's just been going through it. They got no window, so they just, whatever.
Yeah, I have no further updates. This is who I talked to.
But at this point, you don't know. You just, anything and everything, right?
That was it.
Well, you gotta get them off the street, but they'll be back on the street within the month or the week, or you know what I mean? It's yeah, you get jaded in a sense, but if you let that bother you, you're not gonna come out here and do the job.
Do you guys ever get scared?
Go ahead. Just confirming, what kind of pool is down?
I don't know if scared is the word. Maybe anxious. You know what I find is when you're going to this check the well-being, and somebody hasn't been seen for a month or two. And now you got to go search the apartment or the house, and you're like, you know, you've come across, and all of a sudden somebody's there, right? And you just, it's kind of like that. You're watching a horror movie, and you know something's going to happen, but you don't want it. You're kind of worried about it. Same thing when you're looking for somebody, right? Where are they? Where are you going to find them? Because you know somebody's done something, and it smells in there, right? You got an SD somewhere, and you're not sure whether they're. That's when it becomes, oh, you know, let my partner find them. Hey, Trev. 6'4", heavy set, long dark hair, undercut, whatever that means. Wearing a black t-shirt with Outlaw Brothers Beardy logo. How much have you been drinking today for, Matt? How much have you had to drink?
Yeah, a couple of beers, that's about it. Especially if you want to wine again.
You know what the problem is that all the cars are tied up, and technically we would call another car to bring him to the drunk tank. If we let him go and he goes back and something happens, it's on our butt. Okay. So, Matthew, we're just going to take you down to the tank for a few hours. You know what? Because if you go back to where the girl called from, we're going to be in trouble.
I'm not going back there, man.
Okay, I know you're not. You're going to go to the tank with us.
I'm going to my mom's.
No, you're going to go to the tank for a few hours. So, just, you know what? Just sleep it off. I know, but you know what, Matt? If we... All right.
Man. You guys didn't catch me over there.
Well, you've been drinking. You know, you've always been taught, you know, you can always start low, and if you have a guy that's been around for a long time, like the guy we just had, right? Try and talk to him decently, but if he turns into be up there and disrespectful and yelling and screaming at us, then we have to raise our stuff. But we talked to him the whole time, and he never got any more crazier. If he did, we would actually have to get a little louder and tell him to sit down, and if he didn't listen, you'd have to be a little bit more assertive and maybe come down to his level, tell him to sit the down, you know? And you might have to do that. It's just the way it is. But,
and if you could say anything to the public, what would you say?
You know what? I think the biggest thing is just to know your neighborhood and get involved a little bit. I mean, if something's happening, and you know, we need all the help we can from the citizens, right? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the kids that are lost. If you see something going on, like from the neighborhood watch program, to if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you know of, like, you know what? Become a concerned citizen, so to speak. You know, get involved a little bit. Like what we just saw tonight. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw somebody get into a car. Somebody's like, get involved a little bit. And it's easy to say from here until you're actually there and you're living in their shoes. But you know, that's how business gets done, and that's how crime gets solved. You know, more concerned citizen. Like, and that's all.